If you really want to enhance your sales presentations, then storytelling is going to take you from here all the way up to here. And I have a 5-step blueprint that I'm going to take you through so that you can develop your own personal story so that you can really impact your sales process. Hey, it's Tom Jacobs here. This channel, it's all about taking boring presentations, turning them into performances so that you get more profits in your business, especially for the sole practitioner and the solopreneur who relies on sales to grow their business. And what business doesn't rely on sales, right? And that's the topic of today, is to really change the dynamic of what the sales presentation is all about. Because what the issue is a lot of people just really don't like that word sales at all, especially practitioners and people that are doing a service for others. They're like, oh, I don't want to do sales because that's kind of sleazy. And I have to get people to do something that they don't want. And that could be further from the truth. Sales is about helping people solve a problem. It really is that simple. You just need to find out what the problem is and then solve it with your solution. And the best way of doing that is illustrating how you do your work through a personal story so that you can engage with that prospect and get them to know, like, and trust you. Because at the end of the day, people buy from people, not from big corporations or anything like that, or from a business. They want to know you and why you want to help them. And this 5-step blueprint that I'm going to take you through is the very first step in making sure that you have an impact story to, one, grab people's attention, but also illustrate why it is that you do what you do. So the very first step that you have to do is identify those moments in your life that were do or die situations, and not literally die, but those moments that you had to make a decision that got you to where you are today and the reason behind why you're helping people. So just go back in time and just start to list out. Don't do any judgment, just brainstorming. So just write down everything. You're going to do an elimination process later. So first thing is just write that all out. And oh, by the way, if you want a quick cheat sheet on this, I'm going to put a link down below so that you can grab the workbook and you can use this workbook to kind of go along with it. So it's my gift to you. So just click on that link to grab that workbook. Now, like I said, the first step is to write out all those moments. The second step now is to look at all those moments and find 3, maybe 2 or 3 stories from some of those moments that loosely relate to what you do today. So one of my own personal stories is when I was in the fitness industry, I would talk to people about my bodybuilding fit. Now that I'm in business and talking about sales, I talk about the story about me almost going broke because I didn't know how to sell. So those are some moments in my life and in business and in personal life that relate back to why I do what I do. So look at those moments, and what you want to do is find the ones that are most emotionally charged, meaning you think back to it and you're like, oh, can't believe that happened to me, or, oh, it was a really happy time. Something that brings up emotions. The third step then is to create a loose outline of the story. And I actually, in that workbook, hopefully you've downloaded it by now, it has a list out of all the questions. But basically what you want to be asking is, at that time of that story, what did you want? Why did you want it? Why can't you have it? What's keeping you from getting to the result that you want? And then what's your kind of do or die moment? What was that impact moment like for you that you had to make this decision of either going forward or going backwards? And this is your loose outline of the story that you will now integrate into your sales presentation. So that's step 3. Step 4 then is, with that outline, you want to now handwrite out the story. So like it's a narrative, even though you'll be speaking it, it's always best to get it out on paper so you can just kind of wordsmith it a bit and make sure that you have the right structure and everything flows and the details are there. And now the 5th step is that final editing of that story. And when I talk about details, and step five, by the way, I call that color and texture, because the more rich descriptions and vivid imagery that you can use in your story will bring the listener on that journey with you. So instead of saying, oh, I was in my car, you would say, I was in my 1979 Pinto. And I'm sure that's like bringing up images now for you versus I was in my car. You would have had many different images of different cars as it relates to you, not necessarily as it relates to me as a speaker telling you I was in my car. But if I said I was in my 1979 Pinto, then you're like, oh, I know exactly what that car looks like. And now you're in the story with me. And that's color and texture. And that is how you put together the very simple framework to build that story up. So then you can start to share those stories with your prospects. And I generally like to put this up near the beginning of the presentation during the rapport building and the get to know, like, and trust factor before you go into your questioning and understanding what the problem is for your prospect. So there you go, the 5-step blueprint on building your story. And I put together another video right here that I think you should definitely watch next. It is all about storytelling in the sales process as well, and gives you another element to think about as you're integrating stories in your sales. And until next time, you have a great day.